Every morning here on Wake Up, we try to get you ready to give you everything you need to know before you go out the door.
And then once you get in your car, you might listen to Laura Daniels and Keith Kelly at Mix 96. And if you're wondering what they look like, well, mystery solved. We have Lauren Hall joining the Mix Morning Rush all morning long for you this morning.
Good morning, guys.
That's right, Jordan and Teresa. Laura and Keith, they look fabulous this morning. Happy Monday morning to you guys.
Wow, I don't know what's in your coffee, but cool, thank you.
You really do. How's your morning going so far?
Not too bad. It's always interesting, like when you come in, because it's like double duty. Because when you're on, we're trying to talk really quietly on the radio, and when we're on, you're trying to talk really quietly on TV.
We're so polite. We're all so polite.
I know. We all have each other's backs, but everything's cool.
So Monday morning, what gets you going for the first day of the week?
This doesn't leave my hand for the first like 2 hours of the show, honestly. Just regular coffee. I try to get a good night's sleep on a Sunday night, but you know, you're still kind of going for the weekend and whatever. It doesn't always work. So.
What time do you wake up?
About 3:30.
3:30. How about you, Keith?
I get up about 4:15. I get to sleep a little longer, so.
And do you drink coffee as well?
I sure do, a lot of it, in the morning and throughout the day.
What time does the first sip of coffee hit your lips?
Right when I get here, about 5:15, 20 after or so.
So how about you, Laura? Do you start drinking at home and on the way in?
4:25.
Yeah.
I am like clockwork. 4:25. If it's 4:27 and I haven't sipped this, something's really off. Yeah.
Everyone has their morning routines, and it really, I mean, us in morning broadcasting, we really depend on them.
Absolutely. I'm not kidding. If something like if my dog is taking a little bit longer outside or something, or you know my blow dryer isn't working, or one thing that like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, it whacks everything out. I know what exit I should be at when I'm hearing a certain thing on the radio. So it's the same as everybody else. We have wacky mornings and weird schedules. So
yeah, we all do. But it's also interesting that while you have your set morning routine, to think about how you are part of so many other people's.
Oh, well, we'd like to think so. That's the plan, at least. But yeah, that's really what we try to base, especially the 6 o'clock hour, is really based on like, you know, what you do this weekend and kind of getting you ready and getting ramped up, because by the time you get the kids out the door, then it's like, okay, now what do I need to know? Like, well, how do I, you know, what am I going to do to go about the rest of my day? So that's what we're just regular old people.
So talking about the weekend, what did you guys do this weekend? What did you do, Keith?
I actually went skating for the first time at Canal Side. That was a lot of fun.
It wasn't melting everywhere. It was so warm.
No, Friday was actually great because it wasn't too cold, but it wasn't too warm either. So it was perfect.
Right, like Goldilocks.
You got it.
How about you, Laura? What'd you do?
Really big plans. I went to Marshall's.
Hey, always an awesome weekend.
It's either Target or Marshall's. That's the only two places I leave my home for.
Right, maybe we'll try to find out what Laura bought when we see you next year on the CW23. We are hanging out with the Mix Morning Rush crew, Laura Daniels, Keith Kelly. Make sure you turn on Mix 96 before you leave the house this morning. For now, reporting live inside their studios in downtown Buffalo, Lauren Hall, News 4 Wake Up.
Only Lauren could compare ice skating to being like Goldilocks.
96 for you this morning.
Yeah, it's part of Wake Up on the radio. Lauren Hall is hanging out live inside the Mix 96 studios in downtown Buffalo. We're going to check in with her right now. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning. We are mixing it up this morning with the Mix Morning Rush. Laura Daniels, Keith Kelly, getting all of their listeners started on this Monday morning. And you're doing so by talking about a new beauty trend that you've really been discussing a lot on the air this morning. Laura, tell us all about it.
It would look something like this, but not really. It's furry fingernails. And I don't know who came up with this, if it's a joke, whatever, but it's all over Twitter and all over Facebook and whatnot. I'm actually working on a story I'm working on a story for Mix96Buffalo.com. Breaking news.
I thought you were going to say you were working on installing them in your own nails right now.
No, that's just kind of weird. But yeah, it's basically like fingernails, and you have fur like glued to your fingernails, and it just looks weird. It looks like Teen Wolf. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me.
A little vampire-ish. What do you think about that? You won't be trying it?
I don't think so.
Keith, what if you walked in tomorrow for work and there's Laura just typing away and she has these furry fingernails?
I think I would just go home, honestly. I mean, it's kind of gross. Hi, Laura.
Quit that day on the spot.
No.
So how do you guys keep your energy up on a morning, and especially a Monday morning, kind of a back to work, back to school day today?
Sometimes I think on Mondays especially, maybe we get a little extra sleep, but I think it's pure adrenaline, because we get laughing about something, that just kind of keeps you going. You know, if you go to anything like I always wonder how you do it after Sabres games, because I mean she gets like 15 minutes of sleep, shows up looking stunning. I don't know how that happens, but I think it's just like pure adrenaline. Once you get, it's a little rough from about 5 until 6. We're doing our prep stuff and everything, and then you just kind of hit the ground running. Just keep going.
Just keep going. How about you, Keith?
Yeah, need a lot of coffee in the morning, but all morning energy starting at 10 o'clock. Don't bother me because I'm tired.
What about the music you play? Is it, it's like, get you moving type of music, right?
Well, that's what we certainly strive for. It's like stuff that you like to listen to, stuff that will make your kids think you're cool because you're listening to it, because that's what it's all about. Nothing that's going to be not friendly to families or anything. We don't talk about anything crazy or risque. So we just kind of try to keep it flowing, and every once in a while we'll throw in like an Eye of the Tiger or something, just in case you're on your way to the gym. Get yourself going. And it gets us going, too.
It's all about the playlist when you're on the way for your morning workout. What are you playing right now?
Right now we have Meghan Trainor, and coming up we'll have Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. I just felt like a real hello.
We also like to have morning dance parties in the studio sometimes. So when the cameras are not here, we dance away. It's a good time. Yeah.
What about when the cameras are here? Would you consider dancing?
We're just very
Maybe.
perfectly normal, possibly.
Depending if we stretch first or not.
All right, so let's see if we can get them loopy enough during the 8 a.m. hour of Wake Up here on the CW23. It is Wake Up on the Radio weekend. We are mixing things up with Laura Daniels and Keith Kelly here at Mix 96 for the Mix Morning Rush. Make sure you turn your radio dial to 96.1 on the way out the door this morning. For now, reporting live inside their beautiful studio here in downtown Buffalo, Lauren Hall, News 4 Wake Up.
It is National Margarita Day.
You hear them every morning. Now you can see them in action. It's time to get back to Wake Up on the Radio. News 4's Lauren Hall is live at Mix 96 studios in downtown Buffalo with Lauren and Keith.
Good morning, Britt. That's right. Here they are, Laura Daniels and Keith Kelly from the Mix Morning Rush here at Mix 96, 96.1 on your radio dial. If you're headed out the door in the next couple minutes, here in the morning broadcasting world, we all wake up really early. So that means that you usually have to go to bed pretty early. And we've kind of been trading secrets about how you fall asleep early. Not to put you to sleep, but what are some of your tips? I mean, we've been talking about it all morning.
Well, for me personally, I have to have the TV on in the background. And I usually, if I can find something that I know that I've already seen, maybe repeats of something, I have to admit I love Family Guy. So if I can find Family Guy on like 4 or 5 episodes stacked up against each other, I've got to have the TV on in the background. I play it out in my head and then I drift off into sleep. If it's not Family Guy, it's The Golden Girls. I know there's no correlation there. It's true.
Probably two of the most different shows in the history of television. How about you, Keith?
Yeah, I usually do fall asleep with the TV on because otherwise I start to think too much. So then that becomes an issue. But I usually do if go to bed around 9:30. Otherwise, I take up to the 10 o'clock news on CW23.
Of course. Thanks for the plug, by the way.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
I know you probably get asked all the time, Laura, what time do you go to sleep at night?
Well, it depends. If I get a nap, pardon me, if I get a nap, I can stay up until about 9:30, like Keith said. If I don't get a nap, right around 8 o'clock, I just start being, kind of dead to the world, pretty much, inadvertently.
Ready to cozy up.
Nap time is definitely my favorite. I feel like I get the most solid sleep during naps. And I sound like I'm like 97 years old, but it's true. Naps are so good. There's actually a 110-year-old woman who was just interviewed. I don't know if you saw it.
I did. It was amazing.
And they said, what's your secret? And she's like, I take a lot of naps. And they're like, are you excited for your big birthday party next week, or, in a couple hours? And she goes, not in the least bit.
Our big secret is we have to be in the house by the time the streetlights come on.
That's your alliance, that's your agreement.
Yes.
When you're kids, that's how you know when it was time to come in from playing. And so we kind of go by that, too.
I'm going to remember that. That's a good tip. So let's talk about the Mix Morning Rush. In case people, for some reason, have not turned you on yet, talk about a little bit about your show. Tell us about it.
Well, like I said earlier, we just really try to do, we're very contemporary. There's nothing, I hope this isn't offensive or anything. There's nothing real special about, we are normal every day.
Very special, Laura.
In a different way.
We think you're special.
There's nothing, we are just regular, ordinary Buffalonians, so we just kind of like to talk about what other people in Buffalo are talking about and doing, but then we like to throw fun things at you, like furry fingernails being the newest fashion trend, which you'll be able to read about later at Mix 96 Buffalo.
I still have my bare nails, just regular polish on. I promise we haven't done it yet.
No hairy nails, but maybe tomorrow, you never know. But otherwise, just try to keep you kind of upbeat with, some upbeat music and things that and maybe some songs that make you go, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in so long. But then other songs that are, sorry, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but that struck a chord. What's your favorite song on the radio right now?
I got to say, I like Justin Bieber's Love Yourself a lot.
So good. How about you, Keith?
I'm still listening to Adele with Hello. I'm waiting for her to say goodbye. Right. Yeah.
Interesting that you said these things before you mentioned you liked dancing. So as we say goodbye in our final segment here at 8 o'clock on the CW23, I think maybe we should dance to one of those two songs.
Oh, geez. Well, now I have to find it. But, all right, just pretend you're hearing it.
For now, Keith Kelly, Laura Daniels saying goodbye from their studio high atop downtown Buffalo here at the Mix 96 studios. Again, Mix 96, 96.1 on your radio dial as you get ready to head out the door. It's Wake Up on the Radio Week, and I'm Lauren Hall reporting live for News 4 Wake Up. Back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. Tell Laura she's got some great dance moves. Well,